न गुरोरधिकं तत्त्वं न गुरोरधिकं तपः।
श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरि ओम। ध्यायमोधवलवकुण्ठनवतीं तेजोमयीं नष्टिकीं निग्धापाङ्गविलोकिनीं भगवतीं मन्दस्मितश्रीमुखीं वात्सल्यामृतवर्षिणीं सुमधुरं सङ्कीर्तनालापिनीं श्यामाङ्गिमतिक्तसूक्तिम् अमृतानन्दात्मिकामीश्वरीम्। ॐ गुं गुरुभ्यो नमः। अमृतेश्वरी नमः। ओम गम गणपति नमः। महासरस्वती नमः। ओम। My infinite prostrations at the lotus feet of my Sadguru, Sri Mata Amritanandamayi Devi, Universal Teacher, Universal Mother, my humble pranams to all of us beloved children listening to this talk. This time, the festival is this Deepavali. Onam is over, Navaratri is over. Deepavali is another festival which is celebrated throughout our country, throughout India. Unlike Onam is only for the Keralites or some other festival for Karnataka or Tamil Nadu, etc. Whereas festivals like Navaratri and Deepavali, they are celebrated throughout the year. So we use the word celebration. It is not celebration. It's a kind of worship. It's a kind of acharanam, a remembrance of God, coming together and remembering God together and being happy, thinking of God. And that is what the meaning of a festival, Ulsavam. So here Deepavali is, there are 2 points in the Deepavali. First one is, usually we say, Deepavali is the day on which Bhagavan Krishna killed Narakasura and rescued the 16,000 princesses and he married them. This is commonly known. Bhagavan Krishna killing Narakasura and rescuing the 16,000 princesses and marrying them. This is one point. This is one episode which we usually hear. And the other important one is which Amma used to tell us. Deepavali is the day on which Bhagavan Sri Rama returned to Ayodhya after 14 years of exile, and on that day when he was reaching Ayodhya, the entire Ayodhya lit lamps to welcome Bhagavan Sri Rama, Lakshmana and Sita Devi. The entire city of Ayodhya was full of lamps. From the entrance of Ayodhya up to the palace, it was full of Deepam. So that is what we call as Deepavali, which is what Amma told us. So we saw Mahabali coming back to Kerala, Onam. So we welcome him. We have already mentioned that welcoming Mahabali is not welcoming an individual person. Mahabali represents total surrender to the Lord, and therefore such a person is always, he had the advantages that Bhagavan is always such a person, a place where my heart is pure and empty. If a vessel is full of things, we cannot put anything inside the vessel, but when the vessel is empty, then we can put something inside. Therefore, in the same way, we say, we empty the heart. The heart has to be emptied and cleaned and made it pure so that Bhagavan can enter our heart. And therefore, Ayodhya, coming back to Ayodhya, we mentioned many times, Ayodhya is a place, Yuddha means conflict or a war. Yuddham, we know Yuddham, Mahabharata Yuddham. So Yuddha means war or conflict, and Ayodhya means where there is no conflict. That's the meaning we have to understand. And therefore, how does it happen? Devas and Asura, there is conflict, but then usually Bhagavan Vishnu comes to the rescue of the gods, and the gods win the war. Again, we can say there is conflict between gods themselves. You can say, we know very well, the Devendra, the king of the gods, and Surya Bhagavan never got along together. There are always conflict between these two, and we can see that this conflict between these two fathers, Devendra and Surya, they continued in the sons also. We can see that in the Ramayana, Vali was the son of Indradeva, and Sugriva was the son of the Surya Bhagavan. So they fighting. Again we can see that in the Mahabharata also we can see the Arjuna was the son of Indradeva, and Karna was the son of Suryadeva. There also, the sons were also against each other. They were fighting. Mahabali and Sugriva fighting. Arjuna and Karna fighting, because mainly these are the Indradeva and Surya Bhagavan. They say usually they don't get together, but these are all temporary things. When there is some problem like this, Bhagavan Vishnu will himself come and tell them, remember my teaching, and then they will. When Bhagavan Vishnu comes, then immediately they become peaceful. So here also, Narakasura, all these asuras are created by Bhagavan himself to make us, when Indra becomes very powerful and he becomes very egoistic. I told you that Amma told us that there is only one thing which I cannot tolerate, it is ego. So when Indra becomes very egoistic and he thinks that he is the king of the gods and he is all powerful, then an asura, a demon is created who becomes very powerful, and he defeats Indra and takes over Devaloka. So then they go, and then they understand the mistake. They go and go first to Brahma. Brahma shall go to Bhagavan Shiva. Then Shiva Bhagavan will say, go to Vishnu. Finally, Vishnu Bhagavan, he is the protector of the world, maintains the world. He will usually incarnate and kill these demons. We know this very well. Bhagavan Shiva also had killed many demons. So that is what we have to understand. The asuras, when we become egoistic, then God creates real problems and make us understand that self-effort has its own limitations. Self-effort has its own limitations. By my own self-effort, there's a limit to which what I can achieve. My achievements are very limited. When there is only self-effort. Only when there is God's grace, we can see that the real achievement comes only when there is God's grace. That is what we have to understand. And now, here in the Deepavali, we can see that Narakasura is removed from the scene, and Bhagavan Krishna rescues the 16,000 princesses, and they requested Bhagavan to marry them, and he married them. There's a lot of confusion regarding this. We can see Devarshi Narada, he had a doubt how he knows that an individual, a husband, finds it difficult to adjust with one wife. How Bhagavan Krishna is managing 16,000 wives. So there were 16,000 palaces also. You can see that. And so when Narada went to one house, one palace, he could see Bhagavan Krishna with one wife. Then he said, okay, Bhagavan Krishna is here, then what about the other palaces? See, when he went to the other palace, Bhagavan Krishna was there also. He went to the third palace, Bhagavan Krishna was there also. He went to all these 16,000 palaces, and he saw that Bhagavan was in all the 16,000 palaces. Therefore, we can be rest assured that Amma also can do that. She can multiply herself Sadevi Navakoti Murti Sahita. She said that Navakoti, 9 crores of forms she can, always with her. She can also take so many forms and be with each one of us can have one Amma. But the only problem is we don't have enough devotion. We have devotion certainly, but we don't have enough devotion. That's why we are not able to get that. Bhagavan Krishna and the Bhagavan Rama also, we can see in the Tulsidas Ramayana, Sant Tulsidas, he describes Bhagavan Sri Rama in a very beautiful way. He says, Sirumukata Kundal Tilakachar Udar Anga Vibhushanam Ajana Bhuja Sharachapathar Sangrama Jitakar Dushanam. They say, Sirumukata Kundali Tilakachar Udar Anga Vibhushanam. Beautiful crown, beautiful earrings, beautiful the ornaments all of the body becomes very charming, and that represents the ornaments. Always represents, when it comes to Puranas, we can see ornaments, beautiful ornaments always represent good qualities. So we can see in Devi, Lalita Devi also, we can say Sarva Alankara Yuktam, we can say Sarva Alankara Yuktam. This very decorative, a lot of ornaments. And therefore, we can say the one beautiful meaning is, say, when we wear ornaments, the ornaments make us attractive. But they say when Devi wear ornaments, or Bhagavan Krishna or Sri Rama wears ornaments, the ornaments become beautiful. So the Bhagavan and the Devi, they give beauty to the ornaments. So what is the symbolic meaning? And the ornaments, we usually say, they are good, they represent good qualities. So good qualities, when I have the good qualities, I become, they say, I become a good personality. Everybody likes a person with good qualities. So this is what happens to me. But when you say, when these ornaments are on Bhagavan's body or Devi's body, the ornaments become beautiful. That means the ornaments becoming beautiful is the qualities which I have, what I have, are all mainly for serving Bhagavan. That is the real beauty. The ornaments becoming beautiful is that when we use our good qualities, we use our all talents for the serving Bhagavan, serving the world, and not for my personal beautification. That way the ornaments become beautiful. That is what we have to understand. Sirumukut Kundal Tilakacharu Udaru Angavibhushanam Ajanu Bhuja Sharachapadhara Sangrama Jitakara. They say Ajana Bhuja means Bhagavan Rama, Sri Rama had long arms. Two meanings are there. Long arms means Ajana Bhuja. Ajanu Bahu Aravinda Netram. We know that bhajan. Ajanu Bahu Aravinda Netram. That bhajan. They say Ajanu Bahu. Long arms represents, first thing they say when we stand, a person who has long arms, the arms comes almost touching the knees. The arms are long, they almost touch the knees. It comes up to the long arms. So first thing it represents beauty. It makes a person beautiful, handsome, and he has a long arms. That is one meaning. And the second meaning is a better meaning. Bhagavan says, the long arms means I can, like Amma, embracing the world. So the Bhagavan can, with his long arms, he embraces the entire world, like Amma, embracing the world, the entire world, because they are all my children. So in our case, we can say majority, we know to embrace our family. These are mine, or we can say very humorous thing. Very humorous. We say the members of our community, something very humorous, amusing. Or we can say we embrace our state. We speak our mother tongue. That is, of course, there is nothing wrong with that. When a person he goes to America and there he'll see a person speaking your own mother tongue, you feel attached to him. Quite natural. When I hear somebody speak my own mother tongue, I feel drawn to him. So that is my respect for my state, for my the hometown, for the particular motherland. So that is nothing wrong. But Bhagavan Rama, he is the father of the entire universe. So he embraces the entire universe. That is the meaning of Ajana Bhuja, Shara Chapadhara, and Sangrama Jita Kara Doshanam. He killed Kara and Doshana because they say the Ravana had appointed Kara and Doshana in one part of the forest in India, in one part of the forest, so that the Kara and Doshana, those two brothers, they were Ravana's border security force. So they say that these are our land. So Bhagavan Rama says there is nothing like that. Your brother, nobody should think that this is my land, this is your land, etc. So nothing like that. The entire universe belongs to God. Therefore, the Kara and Dushana who claimed that this is our property, they were removed. There is nothing to call my property and your property and his property dispute. You can see, unfortunately, these days the numbers are increasing. The children, the brothers who grew up with a lot of love and affection in childhood, when they grow up and when the partition comes, they start fighting. It is very, very unfortunate. Please do not do that. So Bhagavan Sri Rama will come and defeat you. He will punish you because Kara Dushana, the Ajana Bhuja, Shara Chapadhara, is the bow is to save Dharma. It's a Dharma Murti. Therefore, we say he will make you understand there is nothing to call your own, it's all Bhagavan. So that's what you can say. There's one humorous story, the incident, the Mughal Emperor Akbar's life. So one day suddenly Akbar asked one question. Just after joking, he asked, is there anything which I can do but Allah cannot do? Answer my question. The ministers are shocked. How can they answer the question? Because Allah is the greatest. Akbar is asking, is there anything which Allah cannot do, but I can do? Everybody was silent. But our clever minister Birbal, he got up and said, O Emperor, there is something which you can do, but Allah cannot do. What is that? So Birbal said, Emperor, you can banish somebody from your kingdom, but Allah cannot banish anybody from his kingdom. Why is that? Because Akbar's kingdom is very limited. He has a boundary. So when you get out of India has a boundary. Other countries have boundaries. So when you get out my kingdom, I banish you. In the olden days, I banish you from my kingdom. So you have to leave the kingdom. So that any emperor can do that. But what can Allah do? What can Bhagavan Vishnu do? Because the entire universe is his kingdom. So how can he banish somebody? So that was Birbal's very clever answer. So see, ego is the cover which takes us away from it, hides Bhagavan from us. That is what we have to understand. So say when that the light always represents the knowledge. Light always represents knowledge and awareness, and darkness represents this ignorance. That's why they say for the Rakshasa, there's one called Nishachara. We call the Rakshasas, the demons, they have the name Nishachara. Nishachara means usually they roam about in the night. In the sun they become powerless. Therefore, after the sunset, when it is night, the demons become very powerful. So they say Nisha means night and Chara means one who roams about in the night. So Nisha means night and night means darkness. One who roams about in the darkness, which also means one who roams about in the darkness of ignorance. So Nishachara means one who roams about in the darkness of the night, and the darkness always represents the ignorance. Therefore, one who roams about in ignorance, he is also a demon, equal to a demon. That's what we have to understand. So the ego, ego is very, very powerful. It is very, very subtle. It can catch anybody. So one example I can give you, in this Deepavali story, we know that when Narakasura was advancing, Garuda was very proud of his strength. We know the story. Garuda told Bhagavan Krishna, or he said, Bhagavan, I will go and defeat Narakasura. So Bhagavan understood this, the Garuda has become very egoistic. So Bhagavan Krishna said, okay, go and defeat him. But unfortunately, Garuda could not defeat Narakasura and he came back humiliated. Garuda could not defeat Narakasura because of his ego. He could not defeat him. He came back and he became very humble. Then Bhagavan Krishna went and killed him. This is what we have to understand. Here also, in another instance also, even Garuda, we have to understand is, ego can catch even Garuda. Garuda is always with Bhagavan Vishnu. So we have to be very, very careful. Even when we are with Amma also, without our being aware, ego can catch us. So Garuda, it happened was when in the Ramayana, war was taking place, the Bhagavan Sri Rama and Lakshmana, they were hit by the Nagastra of Indrajit. So they fainted they fainted. They lost consciousness. Indrajit sent a Nagastra, and with that deadly Nagastra, Bhagavan Sri Ram and Lakshmana, they lost consciousness. They were laying in the battlefield. Then what happened was, we know that Garuda is the answer for any kind of, the Garuda is the enemy of the snakes. We know that very well. Therefore, Garuda came, and when he came, the poison departed, the poison from the Bhagavan's body, Rama's body and Lakshmana's body, that completely went away, and therefore they revived, and Sri Rama and the Lakshmana, they came back to consciousness. So when Garuda went back, he had a doubt. He said, Sri Rama is supposed to be an incarnation of Vishnu. He is God. If Sri Rama is God, how can he lose consciousness? He was lying helpless, and I saved him. This is what we call as ego, because he had the feeling that I am not the Bhagavan Vishnu is carrying the entire universe, and I am carrying Bhagavan Vishnu himself. So that ego, when we have ego, our mind becomes clouded, our thinking, our understanding becomes clouded, and therefore action also will be the perverted actions. Therefore, Garuda had this doubt. He went to Brahmaji, and he asked, how can Sri Rama be God? How can Sri Rama be God? He was lying unconscious, helpless, and I brought him back to consciousness. So the Bhagavan Shiva said, Bhagavan Shiva said, you do one thing, I am a little busy now. You go to a particular place. There is a very great sage, a great Maharishi. He is in the form of a crow. His name is Kakabusundi. We have heard of Kakabusundi. Kakabusundi was a very great sage, but he had the form of a crow. So Bhagavan Shiva said, the Garuda, you go to Kakabusundi. He will give you he will make you understand. So Garuda went to Kakabusundi, and he with all humility, he asked Kakabusundi, O sage, O Maharishi, tell me, please let me know, how can Sri Rama, is Sri Rama God himself? Now see what has happened. Bhagavan Shiva knew that Garuda was had become very egoistic, and therefore the ego has to be removed. So he sent Garuda to Kakabusundi. Kaka is the crow, we can see. Garuda is the king of birds. And Kaka, we say, scavenger bird, we can call him. The human beings, we differentiate. So the swan can be a very sacred word for us. Hamsa is a very sacred word, whereas a crow is a scavenger bird in human beings. Garuda also, we can see, when during the Brahmasthana Pradishta, we will be seeing, you can see that at the time of eagles will fly, that the eagle may be flying in the sky, the indication that the divinity is there, they are blessed with divinity. So the eagle is a very superior bird. So the Bhagavan Shiva sending Garuda to the Kaka, a bird which is of a lower category, is indicating, in order to become, if we want jnanam or knowledge, we have to be ready to go down, step down to any level from our high, I am a king, even a king also, when he goes to the ashram, he removes his crown, he becomes very humble. So we have to, so the Garuda, the king of the birds, had to go to a very inferior bird, Kaka, and he had to learn, but Garuda was ready. He set aside his ego and he went to Kaka, the Kakabusundi, and he asked, "Oh sage, tell me, is Sri Rama God?" And Kakabusundi told Garuda his experience. Years back, long time back, I also had this doubt. I wanted to find out whether who Sri Rama, whether he is God. When he was a small child, I went near him and he was eating his roti. He was eating roti, bread. I snatched it from his hand and I flew away. And I went and sat on the top of the branch of a tree. But when I turned back, I saw that little Rama, he was on the tree. He was stretching his hand. He was asking for the bread. Then I went up to the sky. This is called the Bhumi. It's called Bhuvarloka. I went Bhuva Swah. So Bhuva is called Pitraloka. I went to Pitraloka, and when I turned back, I saw the little Rama had reached there also. I went to Suvarloka, Swargaloka, Devaloka. Then I saw that the little Rama had reached there also. He was crying and asking for bread. They went to Bhur, Bhuva, Swah, Maha, Jana, Tapa, Satyam. These are the higher worlds. I went to the higher world. There also Sri Rama, little boy, Balarama. Balram, he had reached there also. So Maha, then Jana, Tapa, Satyam. I went to the world of Brahma. There also Balarama, the small boy, he was crying and asking for a bread. Therefore, I understood. I bowed down to the Bhagavan and he said, "Please forgive my ignorance. Now I understand that you are Lord Vishnu himself." And then the little boy Sri Rama, the little Rama, he gave Kakabusundi a vision of Mahavishnu. So that way, O Garuda, please understand that Bhagavan Sri Rama is Bhagavan Vishnu himself. So this is the story. We have to understand that when we have ego, then the thinking is clouded. So that is what we have to understand. That ego is what we have to remove. So the Deepavali is wherever we go, we can see lamps lit, but they are all It is just to make us understand the divinity is present everywhere. And that is the symbolic meaning. Wherever we see it is full of lamps, divinity is everywhere. And again, we had to see when we see all the lamps. I told the example of Trishur Puram. Trishur Puram, we can see beautiful fireworks. They come up beautiful for the fireworks, but they disappear just for a few seconds. But the moon is always there. When we look up at the sky watching the fireworks, Trishur Puram or any other fireworks, we look at the sky, we forget to notice the moon. Fireworks are very colorful, but they disappear in a few seconds. And therefore, whatever achievements we have, they are all very, very limited. Whereas the moon represents the light of the moon, represents the light of knowledge, reflect from the sun, the Atmajnanam, that is the moonlight. So here also, Deepavali also, we can see that it is completely lit with a lot of lamps everywhere. But we can see the moonlight also. Moonlight is always there. These lamps we had to go on pouring oil. It will go out. The flame will go out. The deepam will go out. Therefore, this is what we have to understand. So we say the lamps we have learned to light lamps everywhere outside. That we have understood. But unfortunately, we have not. But it is only Amma who can light the lamp inside. So you can say that the manvelak, that chirag, that represents our body. So we have to light the lamp of knowledge also. So the only Amma can light the deepam of knowledge within ourselves. So we can say now we have so many instruments by which we can see our inside. We have the X-ray machine. We have called MRI. You can see on endoscope from to the mouth, and a colonoscope, what do we call it, to the bottom. You can see the insert instruments inside, and so they can see everything inside, and the MRI can see what's inside the brain also. That's also limited. Or psychiatrists and psychologists, they can hypnotize us, they can ask questions, they can understand and lot of things about us. But only the Guru can understand the real I. We cannot. It is only Guru who can light the lamp of knowledge inside our mind. Still, we have not. We have very, very advanced in science, medicine, and technology, but we still have not known the complete nature of our mind. Only the Guru Amma has known that. So they say our understanding is very, very clear. So I remember seeing the film of Jnaneshwara. We can see we saw Jnaneshwara, we remember the story. Amritanandamayi is the eldest brother, then Jnaneshwara is second, and then Sopan is the third, and the last one sister also. So what happened is that we see that we know the story that the Jnaneshwara's father, he had taken sannyasa, and then when the Guru came to know that the Jnaneshwara's father is Vittalapant. I remember if I am right, the Jnaneshwara's father's name was Vittalapant. So he had taken sannyasa without the permission of his wife. That is wrong. So the Guru advised go back home. So Vittalapant came back, and then he had 4 children. That is the 4 children, Amritanandamayi, Jnaneshwara, Sopan, etc., Muktabai, etc. And therefore, the villagers shunned them. The villagers, they refused to accept them because they say the children of sannyasis. Nobody, with the Vittalapant and his wife, they took Jalasamadhi. We know that also. And their homeless, parentless 4 children, nothing to eat. They went from house to house. Nobody would give them food also. Nobody would do Upanayana for them also, Brahmin's children. They say, no, we will not accept them. So they say that is, therefore, they had done nothing wrong. They are 4 innocent children. They are 4 innocent children, but the society refused to accept them. And therefore, you remember that beautiful song, they say, they open their the Vedic textbooks and try to find out what should be done to the children of sannyasis. Nothing, that's no, it's not required. You can just see when, like, what Amma has is compassion. So there we see there is something called compassion. When we see 4 helpless children, help them. That is what our Vedas say. The basic teaching of the Vedas is extend help to the helpless, and the society could not know that. So I remember that beautiful song. There is darkness inside. The whole the place is lit with the lamps, but inside it is still dark. We are not able to understand what we should do. The clarity is not there. There's a beautiful song in that film. Jyot se jyot jagate chalo, prem ki ganga bahate chalo. They say, the jyot se jyot jagate chalo. Go on lighting lamps, and then prem ki ganga bahate chalo. There is the flow of Ganga. You take if in our Vedas there is no word called compassion, then what is the use of that Shastra? So the compassion is that is what our Amma has, and that is what we have to understand. When we are lighting lamps in Deepavali outside, we have to light the lamp of compassion inside. Prem ke Ganga vahate chalo. Let the river, the Ganga of compassion flow all over the place. That is what we have to learn from Amma's children. Let us be the Amma's Ganga. We children, let us be with humility. Let us all be Amma's Ganga, and let us all flow with Amma to the entire world and make them understand that the true happiness lies in giving. The knowledge, the real knowledge is the understanding that helping others, that is the most sacred action we can perform. So that understanding this much, let us celebrate Deepavali. I offer these words at Lord Amma's lotus feet. Om Lokaha Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Sri Gurubhyo Namah. Hari Om.
Na guroradhikam tattvam, na guroradhikam tapa.